Hello there, this is Rom coming back at you with yet another car video. A woman having sex with a man does not make him select. And couple things. One, that title was inspired by somebody on my Patreon. I'll give him a shout out, brother. I'll call him Brother D. And he was talking about something else. He didn't even ask me to do a video, but I was actually going to do something else in the car, but he inspired me to do something talking about that issue. Because you got many women, they'll still have sex with a guy, but that don't necessarily mean he's select. And there's several reasons. I'll get into that in a second. But I want to shout out a young man in my inner circle. He's a rapper, Evokan. And I've talked about him before. Some people might even remember him. And he just put out a new album. I'll put a link for it in the description box. And especially for those who like more conscious rap. I mean, in fact, he even rapped one time with KRS-One. He showed that. And also, I'll share a video he did with a very beautiful young lady, just so you know who he is. So you got the beautiful with the young lady, and you have a link to where you can get his album. And it don't cost that much. I can get a little bit of money for it, especially those who want to get on some deeper stuff. He's on some deeper stuff. So, anyway, yeah, a woman, she don't have to have sex with, she don't have to, the guy don't have to be select to have sex with her. But there's going to be different types of sex she going to have with the man. Y'all remember that video, and Brother D, who inspired this video, he talked about this video I did a few years ago, the 5 types of sex women to have. And at least three of them, the woman might not be that pressed about the man. If she's having pity sex with the man, something to do sex with the man, and especially transactional sex, that don't mean the man select. To quote Brother T-Tall, Cousin T-Tall, to quote him, sex is like a handshake for women. They can have sex with whoever. Now, a man know he's select depending on the type of sex. Because one thing Brother D got into, he was talking about this woman he knew that she had a guy, but she wasn't sucking his dick. She wasn't doing all that stuff. She wasn't doing all that extra stuff. She wasn't sucking his dick. Sometimes women like that don't even give good doggy style. Because you get some women, they just want that live dildo in them. And somebody would say, who doesn't really know, it's like, well, why would they do that? Wouldn't they want just select men? Let's just be real, and I've said this before. There ain't enough select men to go around. And that woman, she might still have to deal with that man for whatever reason. Because remember what I've said before, and this is something you can check on your own. There's a lot of men out here in sexless marriages. And there's still women, even if they can't get that select man, that guy they really want, they'll still deal with a guy. Well, he could be for whatever reason. Maybe they getting dealing with that guy because the people in their church said so. Or maybe it's their social class. Or maybe they just don't want to be lonely. Maybe select men don't want them anyway. So a woman will still deal with them, but they ain't going to give them the same level of sex that they give that select man. It's not going to be the same thing. And that's the thing to realize, because you get some guys, they'll get some. But the woman, she ain't even there for it. Her mind going someplace else. It might leave her body. She ain't even in her body for it. She'll just leave it. And then giving that pancake sex, she'll spread her legs, let him do his business. Like, I knew this woman, and she was with this guy for many years. I ain't gonna say the amount, because he might happen to watch the video. But she even said that. She said, yeah, I let him do his business. And she was with him for many years, and still ended up marrying another man. And you got a lot of women, they'll do that. They'll get with that guy. And it could be for whatever reason. Like I said, people in their church might say, their social class might say they need to be with somebody. They might not be getting the guy they actually want. The guy they actually got lust for. And they know you get some women, they'll get with a guy and he really ain't all that to them. He ain't select to them, but they know they got to give him something at some point. You get many women, they'll have sex with a guy just to keep him happy, but they really ain't lusting him. And those guys are generally non-select to him. Because just remember the simple thing. A non-select man can get some. Now, he might be happy, but he ain't getting his dick sucked. He ain't getting his dick sucked. Sure, she might not give him that doggy style. Or she ain't gonna be swinging off that chandelier. Shoot, if they live together, she really ain't down for him. She'll wear those granny panties to bed. She ain't gonna wear that nice lingerie. Or to quote Wanda from In Living Color, played by Jamie Foxx back in the day, lingerie. They ain't gonna wear that sexy stuff. They'll just spread their legs, let him do his business, and then they go on. And they ain't gonna give it to him all the time. Because there's different levels. Because, okay, yeah, you got that level where a woman, she'll just spread her legs. She'll just get on the bed, let him do his business, and then that's it for her. And he might think he did something. And they might even moan and do all that at appropriate moments. Or pretend like they have an orgasm. They'll fake it like a motherfucker. They'll fake it. But if you had sex with enough women, you know when they faking it or not. You can tell. Just real quick, an orgasm is when they have some type of spasm. And despite what y'all might see on some movies where they doing all this crazy stuff, it only lasts 0.8 of a second. But it's real quick. But you'll know it. You'll know it if you deal with enough women. In fact, a woman who's really with a man she wants to be with, she can have multiple orgasms. Shoot. A woman talking about she just had one orgasm, it was like, yeah. And she ain't feeling. Now, just real quick, though, a woman's orgasm is part you, but it's part her. You get some women, they got some issues on their own, so they not going to have orgasms to that extent. But you know what? That's a whole other conversation. That's something I'll probably cover on my Patreon. I get into sexual dynamics on my Patreon. I'm just doing this one right even now. It's a good subject. It's a good subject. Because you got a lot of guys out there, they really ain't select to a woman. Because remember, that whole select and non-select thing, that's a sexual hierarchy. Ain't even about it really ain't even about looks or something. Because the most I'm gonna say the word, the most faggoty thing I've seen is some guy trying to look at another man and tell what's up. But you really can't. Because a woman, she could deal with a guy who looks good to everybody, and she might even get him for that reason because he look good to everybody. She can beat out her girlfriends or something. But he might not be all that in bed. Meanwhile, some busted looking dude, he might be tearing her up. Indeed, that's one of the reasons sometimes you'll see like some fine woman and in your mind, the man is busted. Shoot, in her mind, the man is busted. But he tore that shit up. See, it's purely on select thing. But you get many women, like I said, if you watch that, look at that video I did that really upset a lot of people. I talked about the 5 types of sex women like. They could have sex with a dude because they feel sorry for him. They cool with him. He ain't getting none. They say, look, let me break him off some. Let me give him some pity sex. Let me give him some pity sex. And then there's something to do sex. Sometimes it's like they could get the dildo, or they can get this dude who's been pressing them for 3 months. Something to do. Just something to do real quick. Get a warm one or something. Sometimes they just want that. And then, in fact, I talked about that show Insecure yesterday. Issa, she had a couple something to do sex with some dudes. She had some something to do sex. Like even that big guy she had sex with. What the fuck? Oh man, some car caught up here. It's always some. It's always some. It's always something. Anyway, right? Yeah. Okay. Damn, bro, you see the car? Truck coming through this way? Yeah. You get some situations like this. Some cars just break down. This is the second time I saw that. You know what? For those of y'all who are more on the metaphysic tip, this astrologer said a lot of car breakdowns would be happening around this time. For those on the metaphysical tip. And there's one in front of me. But anyway, yeah, I was talking about that show Insecure. You can check that out again. He said he had something to do sex with a couple guys. Oh, shit. Now, there's some real stuff right here. I had to point out something. Dude looking at me, I'm like, shit, dude, somebody blocking the way. God damn. Anyway, right? So that's that something to do sex, and definitely transactional sex. If you gotta pay for that shit, the women ain't shit. If you gotta pay anything for that sex, like you get some women, if a dude spend enough money on them, like take him to a fancy place, they'll have sex with the dude, yell at appropriate things, but they ain't pressed about the dude. Now, even in relationship, that can go either way. Sometimes a woman might be pressed about me, might be select. Sometimes that ain't the case. It depends. It depends. Like I said, sometimes women, they can get in a relationship with somebody because it could be numerous reasons. Like I said, because of their social environment, their social class, their religion, their whatever. Like I had mentioned before, this woman I knew, she got saved, and then all of a sudden she's hanging out with this going out with this dude in the church, barely gave him a kiss. I mean, and she wrote that shit down because she sent a letter to this guy in prison that she really wanted to be with. That guy in prison was the select guy too. In fact, she had gotten pregnant by that guy. Had to get rid of the baby. Yeah. I hope she don't see this. Me and her were kind of cool. She was a wing woman too. But that's the thing though. That's the thing. Just because a woman has sex with a guy, that don't mean anything. That don't mean anything. It depends on what type. And I've said that before. A big difference between select and non-select is just treatment. How's a woman treat you? And part of the treatment's in bed. Now, if you get some women talking about they don't want to suck your dick or they don't want to do anything extra, they give you just that extra. They give you just that extra. Like, I ain't dealt with a woman, I ain't gonna lie. She was so with me. In fact, she gave me this reason why she couldn't suck my dick. And I was like, okay. I wasn't all that too. I wasn't at that level too. I might have been like at that something to do level sex. But it gradually improved. Like the only way you can improve that level is when you do get in there, turn her out, whatever you do. Turn her out. And then you'll find out some shit. That's when that shit improves. Like this woman told me one time, she got with this guy, she thought he was a nice guy, she let him go to work. She was like, and we used to call him Elmo, because I call all women's boyfriends Elmo. And I said, she was like, Elmo, hey, Elmo got skills, that's what she said. She had to look at him differently. Shit. Elmo turned into Mr. Goodbar. But he had some skills. And like I said, I dealt with one where I have no shame in saying it. I have no shame in saying it. At first, the woman was so-so. with me. So something to do sex. But I had to did my work, and then we hooked up. Man, this woman who gave me a whole speech on why she didn't suck dick went down on my ass like a vacuum cleaner. I was like, I was sucking my thumb. She was turning her brother out. But that's one thing with women just to understand. It was like how they treat you. Like if you're fellas, even when you're dealing with a woman, see what she doing. If all she want to do is starfish sex, she just laying there. She really ain't feeling it. Indeed, sometimes you might have to just get off of it. Just get on off. In fact, I've heard some women say they've told some men that. I've had a couple women say that. They say they've told some men that just get on off of them. They'll do that. Be in the middle of some shit and they'll say, yeah, just get on off. Thankfully, I haven't heard that, but they've told some guys to get on off of them. That guy wasn't select to him. But see, when a guy is select to a woman, truly select, oh, he get everything. He get everything. Even a rim job if he wants it. Shoot, she be doing everything. She be doing that. She be doing nasty shit to his ass. She don't care. She don't care because he select. She turned on by him. She'll swallow all those kids. Vacuum clean all those kids. Because that's something else too. Maybe that's another conversation. Some women know how to suck a man's dick in such a way they really ain't sucking his dick. They really ain't. They know how to fake that shit. But that's some women. But if a woman vacuum cleaning in your shit, or then be in all positions, letting you spank that shit, shoot, letting you do whatever, doing different positions, really getting into it with you, probably getting into it more than you want to get into it. Doing cowgirl, reverse cowgirl, just doing all that stuff, shoot. You know you in there. In fact, you can know what you are to a woman. Now, let's just be real. Some guys ain't gonna care. As long as they bust their nut, they don't care. And in fact, you got some guys, they know they ain't all that. They just want to get whatever they get, and they good to go. But ultimately, I would hope if you on this channel, you want to become select. You want it all from the woman. Like that woman, she got that face card. She got those, I gotta say, breasts. Got that butt dump. Got those thick thighs that save lives. I mean, she got that terrible body. I mean, terribly good. Like just like make you look ugly. Be like, God dang. Shoot, you want to do it. Like, I remember this one woman I dealt with. I said, damn, the body she had, I told her, I said, shit, I got to take my time with you. I got to take my time. Shit, take your time with the woman anyway. She got that killer body. Take your time. Like, lay her out on the bed. Shine your light on her. Just look her up and down. Shoot, take your time with her. Shoot, like I said, sometimes you can be that nice guy that becomes Mr. Goodbar. But her just having sex with you don't mean anything. Like I said, it could be several reasons. Now, if she purely lust you, yeah, you Mr. Goodbar. But like I said, check out that video. I did. They can have sex with you for other reasons. They feel sorry for you. You something to do. You put some money out. And even if you're in relationships. Like I said, with relationships, that can go two ways. That can always go two ways. She could just be in a relationship with you because you the only thing available. And you somebody that she can take with her to the cookout, and Uncle Junior and them, gotta say it right, won't clown you. You look good to the public. But then sometimes they'll get that type of guy, and I ain't say this in a long time. Joe Roughneck, here it come. Yeah, you might be in a relationship with that woman. She at the house. You come home early. All of a sudden you hear some screaming in your bedroom. Shoot. You might be like the Isley brother talking about what's going on between my sheets. And dude look up at you. My bad. Did you, man? Seriously. Or for and you get plenty of women, if they cheat on a man, think about something. Because that's not something talked about enough out here. How women cheat. And that's not something I'm just making up. Because sometimes some dudes thinking I'm on some shit just saying some shit. You can look that up yourself. You got whole websites where women talking about they cheating. There was one website, I forgot what website it was. It was years ago. It was a woman's website, so I joined it, lurking and shit. These women were talking about how they were cheating on their men, what they were doing, and there's plenty of websites like that. If they cheating on a man, how's that man select to them? Seriously. And they'll have sex with them. You get some women, shoot, they will go and have, like, if their husband go out to work in the morning, that woman will have that man either come over or they'll go out themselves. They'll do something. They'll get with that man, their side man, have all their fun and come back. And if they got, I'm gonna tell you what, if they gotta have sex or even go as far as suck the dick of their main man, they'll do it just to keep him from wondering. They'll have sex with him, even if they don't want to. See, that's something else too. A lot of times, just women, just to keep the peace, they'll let the guy hit it. I remember one woman told me that too. Oh shit, I ain't seen them in a while. I ain't seen them in a while. Fat-legged lady. She always be running with somebody. I'll figure out something. I'm gonna meet her one day. But they having this one woman told me. She said sometime a woman just gotta give him some, keep the peace. You'll have that. The man could have started out as select with her, but he ain't no more. Yeah, let's see. Judging from that face card, she about 40s. Nice legs though. Anyway, I'm gonna tell you what though. Like I said, you got a lot of women. Like I said, there's just not enough select men to go around. So they gotta do what they gotta do. And remember what I also said. Ultimately, women want sex out here. They still want some. Sure, that's why you got a whole industry of dildos and sex toys and stuff. If they didn't want sex, you wouldn't have that industry. Think about it for a second. Shit, some of these women be looking at shit, they be having their own porn and shit. They'll figure it out. Shit. That's why someone that's why male exotic dancers be making some money. That's why they be making some money. Though, and I'll shoot a text to cousin Tito. Ask him about that. Ask him how that industry is going, because they got economically there's something called a stripper index. The stripper index, like strippers, is an unofficial thing where if strippers really see they ain't getting more money, they know the economy's in trouble. They can tell what the economy is by how much money they get. So I got to see if the men's side got that. But I'm gonna tell you what though. Understand that. Like any fellas, you dealing with a woman, ask her how much. Ask her how much she giving you. Or what's happening in the bedroom. Or you doing more shit. Like you eating her pussy out all the time, but she don't want to suck your dick. Or you sucking on her breastises and shit, but she don't want to do nothing extra. You might not be select to her. You might be just something to do for right then. Right then. Like you ain't her main guy or something like that. Because like I said, you got plenty of non-select men. They still getting a woman. Shoot, even getting married. But those guys, that's why I always say paternity testing should be mandatory. Because the last number I heard was 40% of men really ain't the father. Those are men who test. I know of one guy, I ain't gonna shoot his name because he do have a level of fame. He didn't even want to test it. There was some, I'll just say, some noise about some sons he had with this woman, and they might not have been his. He didn't want to test it. He just wanted to be the father. There's some men out there. They know that your kid don't look like nobody, don't look like him or anybody in his family, on either side of the family, but want to be a father so much they just go with it. But shit, that's a whole other conversation. But yeah, like I said, Joe. Like I said, you got women ain't gonna have sex the same with any guy. So yeah, but check out the links I have in the description box. Check out the young man in my inner circle, Evokan. Buy his album. Check out what he got. Check out that video I did, 5 types of sex women I have, and just understand that. Because like I said, it really is just that simple. You get ain't enough select men to go around, so women gotta do what they gotta do. And if you have some time, just do a internet search on the word adultery, and shoot, on websites that even talk about it, plenty of them. So anyway, that's all I got for today, y'all. I'll get back with y'all. Peace.